Potential art students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with a video. And if you are seeing me for the very first time, if I sent you a link and you clicked on this link, congratulations, because this video is made just for you guys, first time viewers. I'm not gonna say first time artists, first time viewers. And the reason I sent you a link, if you're one of the ones that clicked on because of the link, is because I saw what you were doing and I knew that I could do some things to help you guys. So I made this video just for you guys so that you could further your art skills. So I talk about this more in the video. So I'm not going to waste any more time with the intro. Let's just get into the video and you will see and understand what I'm talking about. And if you watch the video, I guarantee you will walk away a better artist than you were before you clicked on this video. All right, so let's go to the video and get started, learn some knowledge. Let's go. All right, guys, here we are back at the drawing table, and there's something that I want to do kind of different, and I want to explain why I want to do this. The other day, I was on Facebook, and I was on one of the group websites, and I put stuff up. Every now and then I'll put something up. So I started to scroll down, and I was scrolling down, and I was scrolling down, and I was running into a lot of people that were doing books that were, their skills were really not up to par, but they were still doing the books. So I started sending them my site saying, you know, check this out. This could help you in the long run. So as I was doing that, I started thinking, I need one video, just one video that if I sent to somebody who never saw my site or heard my voice or whatever, they'll know what, not just so much what my site is about, but how to get started drawing. I mean, they're already drawing, but there are a lot of people that really, really needed help. And like me, when I first started, there was nobody to teach me. I taught myself. So my goal is, basically, the number one goal is to help as many people as I can. You know, if I never become the next Jim Lee or Stan Lee, then that's fine. But I know that I've helped as many people as I could with what I knew. So this is what's going to happen with this video. I'm going to kind of compile mostly all of my teaching into one quick video, not a whole lesson, but just to kind of show you the steps to get you started and to make you look at what you're doing and saying, oh, I need to incorporate that, or I don't need to do this, or, oh, this is how you do it. So let's get started right now. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to show you some things, and ask you a question. Okay, you got these glasses. We've got this little Batman figure. We've got this drawing eraser. We've got this pen. We've got this little keychain here. We've got a mouse. We got these nail clippers, a ruler. I don't know what else. Okay, let's just say that's it. Just throw something because I was looking. Here's a blue pencil. So if I asked you, what do all these things have in common? What would your answer be? And if you say, oh, they all belong to you and they're sitting on the table, you would be right, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. The answer would be that all of these things are made up of a shape. That's it. That is the basis of drawing, is shapes. Everything on here is a particular shape. So let me clear this away real quick, and then we will continue with the video. All right, so the world is made up of three main shapes. You have your square, and I've said this, you know, on many of my other videos, but this is for you guys that are seeing this for the first time. Since this is going to be a simple drawing, let me use this. I don't need to be perfect. You have your square, you have your circle, and you have your triangle. Those are the main three shapes that everything is made of. So what we do is we take these three shapes and we pull them, we squish them, we twist them, we turn them, we do whatever we can to manipulate those shapes into something else. So this key ring right off the bat, you see circle, and a rectangle right here. Three simple shapes. For people who say I can't draw, you're not looking at the shapes. So we look at that. That can be an oval, rectangle just curved out at the back. It's very simple. What's that I have? Okay, even the Batman, and you're like, okay, now you're talking my stuff, but I still don't know how to draw the shape. So let me show you this real quick. This is something, and again, this is for you guys who've never seen me before. This is a book I did. This is because I did this book, and I don't want to get into it. It's just to show you the same pose in different positions, because in comics we tend to draw the same pose over and over again. But what if you don't need that particular pose? What if you need to look from the side, or from the back, or from the bottom, whatever? So this is basically, this book is for. And then this piece of tissue I just put in there for this page. To draw the body, to draw the anatomy, these are the shapes, and I have like 25, but this is not including the hands and the fingers. 25 shapes. That's it, just 25 shapes. You learn to draw these shapes and manipulate them and stack them and twist them, then you will be able to draw the figure quite easily. Let me get to this page. So basically all you're doing, you're taking these shapes, you're putting them together, and then you have the body, because each shape is close to drawing the shape of the body itself. All right, so this is just for you guys who've never seen it. This is on Amazon. So again, if you take these 3 shapes and you learn how to stack them, turn them, so forth and so on, then you can draw anything. If you look at your cell phone, what shape is your cell phone? What shape is your monitor? What shape is your desk? What shape is your chair? And they're all the same shapes, maybe just cut out a little bit more. So if you take these same shapes, let's say the square, and you pull it out, then you have a box, or if I shorten it, it'll be a cube. You pull it out long enough, it'll be a rectangle. I'm sorry, it's a box, it's a rectangle. Pulling it out long enough. That's it, you still have the shape. If you take the circle, same thing, and you pull that circle out, you would have a cylinder. The triangle, you'd have a triangle, a long triangle. But there are many other shapes that you can do with a triangle. As I said, you have to learn to manipulate them. Like one of the things I always draw when I'm showing a triangle is if you start chopping stuff off, we'll put stuff together in a second. If you start chopping stuff off, so let's say I drew this triangle. Here's my triangle, and I put a long rectangle and another rectangle down here, and I chopped it off at the top, which would look like this. And a rectangle here, I'll make the little rectangle a little smaller. And I put just a little line with a little circle there. That's an old school lamp, just from a triangle. Yeah, just from the triangle. So once you master these, and the thing about us artists are, we have so much pride. We cannot let someone tell us that I don't want to say we're not good enough. We cannot let anyone tell us that we need to improve. You know, there are things that we need to improve in, because we draw something like, oh, if we would just swallow our pride. If somebody said, oh, your face is crooked, or your arm is too long, or this is not right, we can't hear that. We won't hear that. You know, I mean, there are better ways for somebody to say that's not right. But as artists, we'll chew into somebody too. We have to learn to use our words a little better. So anyway, once you learn to manipulate all these shapes, then you're going to have to learn to stack them. And a lot of times that's foreshortening, is just to put something in front of something else. So if I took this ball, let's take the square. Let's do it in pencil first. Let's take the square. I take the square, and then I put the ball in front of the square. So unless this is a glass ball, you're not going to see this. Okay, so now I have this shape here. Now let's just say I take this back to make this cube or this rectangle. And I'll make that. All right, so let's say I'll take this and I will do a cylinder. Yeah, cylinder. When I go through the shapes over and over again, my brain just kind of shuts down. It would look like that, and then erase this. And what this is called is drawing through. You draw through the shape so that you can get it right the first time. So basically, you're having this in front of this. And that's really important when you start drawing the characters. There was something else I was going to do before I get to this next one, but since I can't remember it, let's just do that. All right, so let's just say I'm drawing a person, and I want to look down on that person. So I will say, let's just say I'll draw the torso, which is just a oval. It's not so much a circle, but it's an oval. And then instead of putting the head up here, I'll shift the head down here. And that gives me that gives the reader that perspective, that vision of that person. You're looking down at that person. So if I drew like the hips or the waist here, and the hips here, and the legs here, I'm running out of paper. So then I drew the shoulders here, the arms here, then you would see this person from looking down on him or her, and I adjust that. So now you have a character you're looking down on, and that's just you stacking shapes. But if you don't master the shapes, then you won't be able to get your desired outcome, which is to be able to draw better than you're drawing now. And while I'm doing this, another thing that a lot of young artists do, and I'll say young artists, I mean, you might be old, but I'm just saying, if you're young, if you're new to, or you haven't been drawing that long, shall we say, then there's a lot of things you don't know. But one of the things I see artists do is they will draw something, and let me just real quick, real rough. Let me draw a face. Just I didn't want to use the blue pencil. This is just a real rough face, right? But then I will see them. They'll come back. They'll draw the rough. Then they'll come back, and then they'll detail just parts of it, not the whole thing. They'll detail parts of it. Then they will ink it to make it look good. And then sometimes, you know, I've seen where they even color it to, you know, because basically they can't wait. They can't wait. You know, they want to get it, you know, just so good, so fast. But then after you do all this great detail on this part and another part, then let's just say you go down to the nose and you like, and you mess up. So now you're frustrated because you had all of this stuff looking good. You had your shading, you had some color in there, but you never finished the whole picture. So I tell people, don't ink your picture until it's completely finished. There's a lot of times when I drew the figure, and I was thinking, oh, it looks so good. The figure just looks so good. You know, and I inked it, and I came back the next day, and I saw that something was wrong, but I mean, I had inked it right away while I was on that high, that drawing high, and I'm like, okay, that foot is like really big, or that arm is like really short, and I didn't see that because I didn't take the time to step away from my picture. So whenever you draw something, before you walk away, before you ink it or try to color it or just say, I'm going to finish this, go walk away, go use the bathroom, go get a sandwich, play like a couple minutes of video game or watch a YouTube video or something. That way, when you come back, you'll be able to see that something's not right. Or if you don't see everything is right, then go ahead and ink it. But you can easily do several things. You can turn it upside down. You'll see it in a different light. You can turn it over for a few seconds and then look at it again. Or you can look at it in the mirror. You can hold it up and look at it in the mirror. Those are ways that you can see what your drawing looks like before you ink it and then just get frustrated and pissed off. And that's why a lot of potential artists don't make it all the way, because you get so frustrated with stuff and you ball it up and you throw it away and you get mad. And then you go play a video game that you fail 500 times, but you keep playing that video game until you can reach that next level. But when it comes to drawing, putting something on a piece of paper, oh, that's too hard for you to do. So yeah, I never got with that. So, don't do that. There are things that you can do and not do to help you become better artists. Okay, so going back to this and this again, if I can find this page real quick, that, okay? Now, whenever you draw, you start breaking down your shapes with your person. Now, when I started learning how to draw, let's see if I can get a darker pencil so that you guys can see a little better what I'm trying to do. When I started to draw, I just started looking at everything I could as like, swimsuit models, just bodybuilders and so forth, and just tried to do it. And my shoulder was I would always have one shoulder here and another shoulder way down here. But I couldn't really see it because I didn't know I was looking at it. I was still young to drawing. And then later on, I started to see what I was doing. So when you come to drawing people, there are shapes that I use. I do the torso first. A lot of books, a lot of videos say do the head first. But if you do the torso, if you do the head first, chances are your feet are going to come off the page. And if you wanted to draw your character, you want to draw your whole character. So do your torso first. That's just an oval. Okay, split that in half. You want to do a T for the collarbone. In the center, you want to do another line. And then under that, you want to do a mountain shape. Or I call it an upside down U. When I first started drawing, I call that the beetle because it looked like a beetle. Those people that have been with me for a while know this already. So this is your torso, which is the hardest part of the body. So if you want to turn the body slightly, you're still going to do the same thing, except your center line is going to be over to the side, depending on how much you want to turn the body. Center line, collarbone, chest in the middle, and then that U. Or you can do a triangle. Just put the top here, and it goes down here, and you can round it off, or you can use a triangle. Same thing. All right, on the end, you're going to put your delts, which are just circles, and this is basically what I don't want to forget why I'm doing this, showing you the shapes. Circles. Down here, you're going to put your waist, which is just a rectangle, which I call a tuna can, which I don't know why, but I call it a tuna can because I guess it looked like a tuna can, or I was eating tuna. And then here you put your upside down house, which it is the shape of a house, upside down. So you have 1, 2, 3 main shapes for the body. The hard part for me is knowing where I want to position the arms and legs to give it action. But since we are going to just draw a person up and down, let's say you're designing a costume for your character and you need a good body. These are the things you do. Again, oval, rectangle for your waist. Just think about where your belt is going to go, and an upside down house. Like that, those 3 shapes. That's just it. You have your body done. 2 seconds later, the hard part is done. Well, the hard part is the arms. Or positioning the arms to give that action pose. All right, so right here, I'm going to put the neck. So what I'm going to do is at this point here, I'm going to put a V to where the neck is going to come out. Now, the bigger the wider this is, the larger your neck, the more powerful your character is going to be. So at this point right here, at this circle, I'm going to put my chin. My chin is going to stop right at that excess line, which are your shoulders, which I will make bigger still. So if you have trouble drawing that oval for that head, draw a rectangle. Draw a rectangle for that head. And then just round it off. That's it. And that head, if you're drawing like the, let's say Captain America build type, then that line for your side of your face should come straight down into your neck. If I drew a head here and I drew a little neck, you would instantly think, oh, I'm drawing a woman or a teenager. If I'm drawing the female, I will put more of a point to the chin, go out like in this direction, and then go up. So it's almost like doing a V and then going up. With a small neck and rounded shoulders, you have the female. All right, so back in shapes, we're going to do an oval or a cylinder, but the only time you do a cylinder is if the arm or something goes up. Now, I'll foreshorten this one. So I'm doing an oval, and your elbow comes down to around your belly button, if I'm not mistaken, and the other half comes down to the crotch. So let's just do this oval, and then this is going to be a cone, okay? This is going to be actually a triangle, Yes, triangle or cone. Cone is pointed, but you chop it off where you want your hand. So you have these three shapes. So you're going to have this. You're going to have this. And you're going to have this. And just cone, chop it off where you want to put your hand. Okay, so if I'm going to foreshorten something, and foreshortening again is just basically you're taking something and you're turning it to you or to the viewer so it looks shorter. Okay, that's basically just foreshortening. So if I took this arm here and I did this oval, here's my oval. So if I'm going to twist that oval up, it's going to look more like this. It's going to be wider and then go narrower, right? Okay, so I'll just say that. And this is where it becomes a cylinder, right here. So the more I lift that up, the more or the less of the size of it you're going to see until you just see the circle. All right, now that's for the bicep, tricep. This is basically the same thing, but it's just basically the same thing. So let's just say I'm going to put this one down here, more out. So it's not going to be as long, it's going to be shortened. And I'm going to do this, my circle. And I always say when you're drawing the cylinder, you have your front circle and you have your back circle, but you can't see through it because you're going to have your sides. And this part of the circle has to be just as round as that part of the circle. So let's just say, okay, this hand is going this way, or this part of the arm is going this way, and the other part of the arm is going this way. It's foreshortened because you won't see the whole stretched out part. And you're just doing the same thing. You're putting one shape in front of the other shape. So if I like this, if I did this was an arm, I'm just putting this cylinder behind this one, and here's my shoulder right here, and then I can put my hand here however I want to put my hand. It's simple. Once you learn these shapes, you have it. All right, so, and then I'm going to cut it off right here. Remember I said this is the cone right there, and then I just chop it off and round it off, and then I'll put my hand however I want to put my hand. So if you can see the rest of that cone, it would be like this. Since this is the back of it, round, the front of it would be just as round as this, except you would see the inside of that, just like you see the inside of this. So by doing these shapes is extremely simple. So let me rush this real quick, and then I'll show you what else I'm trying to say. So this is going to be the same shapes as this, except this is going to be the knee. So we're going to have oval. We're going to have that circle, and we're going to have that cone right here. Again, oval. Now, I'll bring that up for you guys. Oval. And then the foot, I'm going to do a video on feet because a lot of people are having trouble with feet. The foot is basically a triangle for the side. If you don't want it to the side, you bring it down. You make a wedge out of it like that. Okay, now this is just using the shapes. Later on, we'll in other videos, you can see me doing more details for this, but this is to show you guys how simple it is to draw. So you have that. So with this, the same thing with the cylinder. If I'm going to lift this leg up, I'm going to have this back circle, okay, front circle, and it's going to be wider here than it is here, like that. And then let's just say I'm going to bring this leg in. So I'm going to have this triangle or cone here like this. And the knee is here, so you really won't see the knee because it's just there. And then my foot can be, remember, it's going to be that triangle. And if I need to not have it to the side, I'm going to just do this, flatten this, and bring this up here and cut that off. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be like this, like this, okay? And then that top is going to be on top of that, which is going to be round. Well, since we're doing it, it's going to be like this. It should be like that. And then the knee is going to be here. And this part is going to be there. And that part is going to be there. And these are shapes. So the guy's like walking or stomping or whatever. And it's just simple by placing one shape in front of the other shape. And I said I was going to do something else. And my brain, I just lost it for whatever 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 reason. So, okay, so I'm doing this, and you can see that it's not really far from the actual shape of what you want. That leg, just basically almost a perfect shaped leg. I mean, I could tweak it a little bit. I'm still trying to remember what I said I was going to do. Oh, okay, I got it. And I kind of did it with this already. So if you want to draw this person or your character in an action position, you start out with the oval. However, I don't know what position I'm going to draw, and I'm just going to draw some crazy position. And then I'm going to draw the head here. Let's just say I'm going to draw the steers at center line. And I'm going to have him looking that way. So you're not going to just like, what am I looking for? And I can't find it because I want to find it, and I'm not going to be able to find it. And everything is usually right here when I need it. Anyway, you're going to put this one shape here. This is your main shape. You're going to be collarbone and your delts. Collarbone and your delts. So your hip, you might not be able to see too much of that hip right there. And remember, that hip is just this shape. And if you're looking down on this shape, it's going to be shaped like that. It's just that cylinder or tuna can. This is why I call it a tuna can, because it kind of looks like a tuna can, because it's not going to be too wide. It's just going to be that shape, and then your upside down house is going to fit on top of that. Okay, so I've got this, and here's my shape. Let's do this in blue. So that's going to be my waist. And then I'm going to put my hips, my upside down house, as I say. So I'm going to follow this line if I want to keep it curving around or if I want to curve it another way. So wherever you do this center line, I should have said that in the beginning, that's going to go straight down to the center of that crotch. And you want to leave space. You want to leave space for, just for your man junk here. Okay, this is just, you're leaving space right here in between that leg. You don't want it to come down to like a point, where you have a point. You have to leave some space for that leg to move. Just think of when you put your underwear on, you have that little space in between. Okay, so we're going to come down here again. It's going to be my upside down house with a little space here, and I'm going to make that a little wider. And then so I'm going to put a leg here, which is just that shape. I want to put the cone behind this. So if I'm drawing the cone, I'm going to do front circle and back circle. And I'm going to put my foot, which, looking down on it, you can still do a triangle, but I would do more of an oval if I'm looking down on that foot. Now let me erase the part that I drew through, so you really can't see that. You're not going to see that. So with this one, as I said, this is just some weird shape. I'm just drawing some weird position. I'm just drawing. And then I'm going to bend this a little bit. So my knee is going to be under here. That's a given. So let's just say I'm going to do my cone right here. And then it's going to be my foot. And I'm going to do the oval because I'm looking down at the top of that foot. I'm looking at the top of this foot right here. Right? So again, these are just shapes. And once you learn how to do the shapes and kind of keep them in the range of the shape of a leg or a bicep or a forearm, then it's really simple. It's really simple. Nobody showed me this. I had to discover this, and it took me years to discover this. And once I learned and I started drawing, I started to run into people saying, how do you do this? How do you do this? And then I started showing people, and I think that's my calling, is to be a teacher, because a lot of people, basically a lot of artists, should I say, basically what we want to do is we want to show off our art. We want to say, oh, look at how good I am. Look at how good I am. But I stopped doing that. I used to try to do that, but I stopped doing that. So I want to show people how good they can be with the knowledge, because I say art is 70% knowledge and 30% talent. So if you know where something goes, then it's going to look right anyway, because you just know where that goes. You don't have to have it perfect, but it won't be thrown off. Like my shoulder, like I said, one shoulder used to be down here, one shoulder used to be up here, and I didn't know why, because I didn't know what I was doing. So again, here's my circle, which is my delt, which actually goes into the arm. Here's the delt here. This one is kind of going back. And I will take a cylinder, foreshorten that cylinder a lot. And then I will take my triangle. And notice I don't really use the ball for the elbow. You can, but I draw them. It's going to be close enough that that ball is going to disappear. You won't see it anyway in the final product. So I'm going to do my cone right here, and I'm going to do my fist right here. So that one arm is back, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this arm. So let's just do forward. Since that one's back, I'm going to do my back circle coming up, and I'm going to do my front circle. Okay, that's my cylinder. Okay, so doing the cone, and I'm trying to turn my paper. I envy people that can draw and ink and not move the paper. I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I cannot ink with the paper being still. So I'm going to draw this cone here, and then I'm going to draw whatever hand. Maybe he's like blasting something. And the thumb is going to be here on the inside. So, okay, so now I have this, right? And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm the greatest. Oh, I can really draw. This position is just all of that. And then, you know, a bag of stale cookies. So what I would do before I even try to ink this or put any detail in, any muscle, any whatever, I walk away. I would walk away or just turn this over for a second. You know, count to 30, count to 1 minute, go use the bathroom. Like I say, then I'd come back and then I can say to myself, okay, that arm might be a little long, or that one leg is too short, or whatever. Then I will fix it. Then I will go ahead and ink it and not be too concerned with the muscles. You know, that's another thing that a lot of beginner artists do. They won't get this far. They'll try to get the muscles in there so right first. And if the shape is not right, then the muscles are not going to fit in the wrong shape. So let's just say I'll just ink this real quick. Come on now. Come on, let me take one piece of paper. One piece of paper at a time. I usually don't have my paper stacked. And this brown thing, this is from one of those big calendars. This is the back of one of those big desk calendars, because the black desk itself, which you can't see, which is right here, the paper slides up and down on the thing. So this is why I just use this to keep my paper from sliding. But sometimes I want it to slide and it won't. And the bicep, I don't know why I'm trying to draw the muscles in the thing. It's just me. It's just like me. When I draw, I'm so used to basically just drawing the muscles. Okay, I studied the muscles for a long time, and I just put them in there. So there, and we have your bicep here, your tricep here. This is kind of quick. The arm would be a little long, so it would stop right there, and then I put my hand here, and he's blasting or whatever. He's blocking whatever. There's a force shield or whatever. Oh, in the head, I got to put the head there. Right there, he's looking, he's kind of like, my neck is going to go to that point. So remember, the neck, the tip of your neck, and as your Adam's apple is here. What is this part called? It's going to go right there between your collarbone, okay? So we're going to have this neck that's going to come down from your side of your face here, and the shoulders, as I said, which I didn't do. I'll take the shoulders and I'll just lift it up a little bit from here, and it goes right to this point here. So I'll have my shoulders here and here. So I won't use this original line because that's just the roundness of the torso. So yeah, all right, so I got this here, and basically we get this other foot here. And then you see how simple it is to draw once you know where the shapes go. Once you know where the shapes go, it's really simple. And then I could come back and detail this even more, especially if I didn't ink it. Oh, so since I'm at it, let's just do the shape for the face, the nose, and the mouth. And the way I do a face, I'll use this as a basis of a face. You already know half and then half. Okay, that's your eye. You do the X or the plus symbol or cross or whatever you want to say. So between this point and this point, you're going to go half, which is about right here. And then between this point and this point, you're going to go half for the mouth. But I usually lift the mouth up a little bit more. So just for talking sake, do that. So what I do is take the chin, and I think the chin is usually the size of the nose, if I'm not mistaken. So if I go straight down, I'll take my chin. Well, let's just say my chin is going to be right here, and I'm going to make it flat. So at this point, I'm going to come up, and of course, you know where your mouth is, your jawbone is there. And then from there, I can either go out a little bit more and then up, or I can just go straight up. So let's just go straight up here. And the reason I did that is because here's my chin. This is the flatness of my chin, okay? So what I do is I take from this point of the eye line and that point, and I curve this in. I curve that in like that. So that right there tells me how long my mouth is going to be, and it gives me the defined shape of the chin. So whatever your nose, you know, if you come straight up, your nose, whatever size your nose. So this is going to be on the inner side of your eye. So your eye is going to start right here. So depending on the tilt of the head, I will put the eye either below this or above this line. But since it's right there, I'm just going to do this. If it were right, I'm going to do this. So that center line is going to be where my eye is. All right. So they're supposed to have enough room for 5 eyes, an eye in the center, and I think it's an eye here, or half an eye there. But depending on what you draw, if you're drawing an alien or whatever, everybody's face is different. So we have this line. So I'm just going to put my bottom line right here, my bottom lip right there. My nose is basically the V. And the nose is this shape here. You have this down and up like that. That's basically your nose shape for your nose. All right. So you're going to curve this around for your nostrils. And right here, you're going to bring your nostrils up. And then you can have like a little point here for your nose. You can have your nostril in. Of course, depending on the character you do, but you really don't put too much in noses, because they say a nose is ugly in art. That's why you see a lot of pictures that they don't, especially on women, they don't draw the whole nose with the bridge and then the eye, you know, coming up. They just drew a very minimum amount of nose, and you don't see the wings here. Yeah, so that's the basis of your nose. Okay, so you got that. So right here on the side, I'm going to curve this up, curve that up, and that's like the temple of your temple. Is that thing? Yeah, your temples, because it's kind of flat right here on the side, and then it curves around here, so it's flat on the side and it curves around here. So that's just a couple extra guidelines I use, and then you're going to put your hairline in here if I could keep it straight. So basically, those are your guidelines for a straight face. I have a lot of videos on stuff. Go back. If you go to my site, if you're seeing this, that means you're on my site. You're looking at it. Go to the site and then go way back, and you'll see, you know, videos on this and more stuff. So again, like I say, if I want somebody muscular, I'm going to bring that neckline straight down with the side of that face, and then my ear. So that's your face. So again, I was going to do something, and I jumped to the face, and I forgot what I was going to do. So let me pause this, and then I'll come back when I can remember what exactly was I going to do. Okay, I remember now. Didn't take long. I remember now. If you want to do comics, or if you want to do a scene, if you just want to do people standing up in space, and, you know, just snow background, that's fine. But if you want to start doing scenes where people are standing or running or driving a car, whatever, you have to look at your picture plane, and that might not be the right word to put in there right now, but I'm going to use it. And basically, this is this: how is your character going to sit on your ground? So basically, this represents the ground, and this tells you a lot about perspective. Perspective for me was the hardest thing, and I broke it down to where it's just so simple. But it's crazy, because when I try to draw perspective, I'm lost. But I can teach it. But it's me. But if you look at all of these shapes, other than this rectangle, everything else is going back into a triangle except this. So that is your main shape for perspective, is your triangle. Especially 1-point perspective, because everything's going back to that 1 point, which is right here at the end where your lines converge and can't go back anymore. So this is going to be like my horizon line. This can be the street or the railroad tracks, which books always use. And it's just a triangle. That's all it is. You know, they don't say that in the books. They give you all this crazy hard stuff. And that's all it is. It's just a triangle. So basically, when you're drawing perspective, 1 point. Everything is going to go towards being a triangle. And just the same way I said about drawing the arm and the cone, you chop it off where you want that hand to go. So you chop this triangle off where you want to stop. Let's just say if this was the interior of a room, this is my wall, this is my back wall. I'll chop it off right here. Here's my door, right there. Okay? But this is to show you how you are going to have your person when you draw your person. I'm trying to find something else that would be stable. Okay, so basically, looking down at the camera, this is flat, and as I tilt this up, it angles. It continues to angles away from you until it is flat, straight like that. Since it's a piece of paper, you can't do that. So if I take this Batman and I put this Batman on this thing here, and I start lifting this up, the whole thing would change until you see him standing straight on the floor. It's hard to do this with this paper and the Batman and looking in the camera upside down. So just think about that. And this is where it becomes, you have to do your shapes. You know your shapes. You know the simple shapes it takes to make a person. Now, when you start rotating them, what does it take? What does it make? What shape does it make? And I should have showed you, and you should have picked it up with this by doing this. More videos I have, it shows you all the stuff. So when you draw your person, you're going to have to know how much this person is tilted, how the viewer is going to see that person. Like I say, if this was somebody here, and I do a really shorthand person, he's going to be standing right there because this is the background, and I'll do this. So what changes everything is the fact that, and I'm going to need what I need, and I don't know where that stuff is, why it disappeared. Oh, I got it now. Give me a second so I can get this ball. So as this person turns, let's just say this is a person. I know it's just a ball in a square. As this person turns out, no free promotion. As this person turns, you're going to not see some of whatever's under the bottom if it's bigger, which I should have just, let's switch this around. The square is bigger. So we have that, and as this person rotates, you're going to lose some of that ball for seeing the square. And that's just the same thing when you're drawing. Make that out. So you're going to start seeing, and usually when I do the oval, this is the oval for the, well, I'm losing it now for the chest, but it's not the chest, it's the, whatever that's called. What I will do is I'll start doing like this. I'll start turning it to more of a this. Because the shoulders are not flat, but they're not completely rounded. It just makes it easier. So if I'm going to do this, just like say if I do a cup, a glass. If I do a glass on here, the glass is you're going to see straight down on that glass. If I put a glass here, you're going to see like this. If I put a glass here, you're going to start seeing more of the no, it's the other way around, Brian. Thank you. You're going to see less of the opening. It's going to be more flatter. And then the higher it goes, the flatter that cup's going to go. And remember what I said, the rule is whatever, as much as one part of the circle is, the other part has to be just as round. So this is going to be here. So this is going to be like that. And then this one's going to be here. So this is going to be like that. And then when you get a glass, it's going to be like that. And that's the same thing with the character. Just keep in mind, you're seeing this. So if I am, I'll use this one. I'll just put the person here. I'll do the same thing with the person or drawing the figure. Thank you. Then I will do this because it's round. It's the whole figure basically is round. People draw the figure flat, and that's something I want to get into if I don't forget what I was going to say. This, and then this. So right here, what I'm doing is I'm rounding this off. I know it's kind of a little high. I'm rounding that off, and I'm putting the head down into his shoulders. Here, his shoulders were here, and his chin was touching that line for his shoulder. His chin is right there. Now, as I lift somebody up, just like I did this guy, his chin is way down in his shoulders. So the more I lift up the person, or the more the camera goes above that person, the more the head is going to go down into that shoulder. If I'm drawing straight above, it's going to be like this, and his head is going to be right here in the center. So you have shoulder, shoulder, and maybe the foot, piece of the arm or something, depends on how his arms are. So the more you do that, the more head is going to go in. So just remember the whole glass thing here. And then we have your arms, and the same thing, because arms are not straight down if they're not bent. So they're going to be foreshortened a little bit. Remember, belly button, elbow, and the crotch, the forearm. And then that head, let me get a smaller pen so that I can maybe do this a little better. And I need my light because I'm old and it's hard to see without light. So I'm going to put this head down here. Neck. The collarbone is going to take a V. It's going to start turning into a V. Ready to go? Right here, it's pretty much flat, kind of flat. I mean, it's not really flat. It's got a little bit of a V to it. But the more you look down, the more that collarbone is going to turn into that V. So we're going to have this. This is your abs. So your abs, I don't want to get into that right now, is your waist and upside down house. Your leg, which is not going to be as long because you started to tilt. If this pin is straight and I started to tilt it, it wouldn't be as long. Okay, so you're foreshortening the knee and then my cone. This is why I say until you finish and walk away, don't ink your stuff. Don't ink your stuff. Drawing is really easy when you have a good, let's just say teacher. I'll just get it. When you have somebody that's showing you how to draw, it's very easy. But as I say, a lot of these sites and a lot of artists, they want to show, what they can do. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with that, because when you create art, you want to show, hey, look at my art, look what I can do. But I tell a lot of people, what do you want to do with your art? Now that you can draw, are you going to draw Batman every day? You're going to draw Superman every day? Batman and Superman are making enough money and they don't care about you. Create your own character and then do something with that. You don't necessarily have to put out a book, because it's expensive to put out a book, a comic book. Make a web strip, or just have on your site, or just a regular comic strip, maybe like 5 or 6 panels, with your story on it, with your inking and your coloring. You're not trying to impress anybody yet. You're basically just showing that you can do it, and the more you do it, the better you get. Just have like I say, 5 or 6 panels on your strip, and then say, continue next week. That way you will get followers to come in to see it. And if you get enough followers, you can say, hey, I'm going to make a book out of this. Support me. And since these people have been following you for so long, seeing how you develop and seeing your characters and your story develop, more than likely they'll follow you. So if you have art and you've spent all this time developing it, try to make some money with it. If you can make a living with it, go for it. So, all right, this has been 49 minutes. I'm trying to think of whatever else that I can show you guys. Just remember, like I say, everything is a shape. So if I did a car, start out like that, and let's just say I want to go back. That's your rectangle. Here is your front windshield. Here is your roof on your car, your side, and that's too light. I can't really see it because the pencil. That's one reason why I use blue pencil and red pencil, because I have an overhead light, fluorescent, and it makes so much glare that I can't really see what I'm doing a lot of times. So here's my car, and maybe I'll get some more shape to the hood, give some curve to the bumper, with some wide body. I'm doing this because I no longer can see what I'm doing with the glare from this pencil, so I'm inking it. But shape, shape, shape. You twist your shape, you bend your shape, you manipulate your shape until you get what you want. But like I said, there are 3 basic shapes that we use in everything. If you look around your room right now, you will see like I said, your desk you're sitting at, the monitor you're looking at, your bed, your couch. They're all the basic same shape. It's one of the three shapes, basically. One of the three shapes that you see. So again, like that, using this eraser. If this is the car, it's just how much. I have a car, but I think I put it up. A little toy car. Get reference. Get as much reference as you can. If you can't download it, buy a toy or something that you can manipulate. I have a lot of stuff that. Let me show you the big guy. I use the big guy a lot. This is what I call the big guy. This is. I'll leave a link to this if you've not seen this. This is probably like the best toy for reference. My brain was somewhere else. It's not really a toy. This is a metal skeleton in this thing, and it's rubber, and it does pretty much a whole lot of moves, But the thing is, after a while, where is it like this? After years, this thing started to tear, and I really don't use this. I don't like dress this or play with this. I just use it for reference, and I marked the muscles to show you guys what to do. It doesn't come with a head, so I bought this little head to go on it like that. But I mean, this is like some of the best reference. I think it's $89 on Amazon. I'll leave the link, as I say. So anyway, get reference to anything you can in the beginning, because after you do it enough, you won't need any models, anything. Once you write your name every day. Well, maybe not every day, but you do letters. I forgot how to write my name. You do letters all the time. So you can write your name in the dark, probably upside down in a snowstorm, because you've done it so much. So once you've done the figure so much, you won't need reference. But in the beginning, get as much reference as you can. It helps. It helps. So what was I going to say? I got off the topic. I don't want this thing to be an hour. Let me pause it right here, and I'll come back with you once I get my head together again. All right, so doing background, everything is shaped. Everything is a shape. Here's a door behind this guy, which is a rectangle. Here's a window on the side, which is like a rectangle, or going into the triangle. Remember, the triangle is just a mighty shape in perspective. If I want to do a dresser, he's in his bedroom, do a dresser, which is a square. Going back again to the triangle, there should be a point here somewhere, because it's a 1-point perspective. Going up, put some drawers in here. This is a chair. If I want to stay on the perspective. And when you have your 1-point perspective, you can have multiple points on that line where other things can go to. It don't have to go all to 1 point. So if I have a chair and I want that chair to go like to this point, right? I'll do this here. This line's going to come here, and I'm going to have my bottom of my chair is going to go to that point too, so that you don't have to have everything, draw 4 legs. You don't have to have everything in the room just static, okay? So yeah, as long as these lines are these points are on the same line, you can have multiple things coming from your perspective points. Shapes, basically, as I'm closing, because there are videos on my channel that answer all these and talk about these, like measuring and so forth and so on. Yeah, that you can go to and you can see. But this is basically just a filler, so I will end it here. This is just a taste of what is on the line, and it's not that I'm trying to get subscribers. Yes, please subscribe. Yes, show me some love, subscribe. But what I'm trying to do is show you guys how simple it is to draw, so that you can use your talents to become what it is you want. Whether you want to be the next great Jim Lee, or like I say, Stan Lee, or if you just want to design clothes, greeting cards, you want to design, be a character design. There's so much out there for artists now that you can make money sitting at home. I'll give you this thing. I used to do illustrations for Christian magazine long time ago. So I made $1,200 a week, and I drew 4 hours a day in my house, in my pajamas, $1,200 a week. I mean, that was the dream job for me. But what happened was somebody came and they bought the company. The company was in Maryland. I was in Georgia. So my editor would send me the paper that what they needed, this picture on this page, this picture on that page. So it wouldn't take me even 4 hours, but I would say 4 hours, just be nice and work wise. So, and then I would draw the pictures, ink them, whatever, make sure they would fit in that spot, and mail them back to, her, and check, boom, here comes my check. So somebody came and they bought the company and just let everybody go. And they didn't tell me because I wasn't in the same state. And I called the editor maybe like a couple weeks into it. No, no check, no word or nothing. And she said, "Oh, nobody told you somebody bought the company and everybody got fired." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's my dream job." So anyway, like I say, there is money to be made from art. So don't sit at your house at your desk drawing the cool picture of Batman, the cool picture of Superman, or Goku fighting Porky Pig or whatever. Try to find something or some way to use your talents to make money for yourself where you don't have to get up, fight traffic, deal with some jerk bosses and, people in your office and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's going to be it. This is a sum of what I teach people on my channel. So as I said, if you're seeing this, then you just go to the link to my channel and see all the stuff I have. Scroll down. Don't look at what's on the front page. Scroll down because there's over 600 and some videos, if I'm not mistaken, already, because I've been doing this for like 4 years maybe. But I just never advertised until now. This is why I'm sending people the link to my YouTube channel. Basically, I just put it up there and just let whoever find it. But now I see people that could use this. So that's going to be it. So I hope you enjoyed. Give this a like. If you liked it, give it a seriously, just click it and give it a like to show me that you did see it, you did like it, and subscribe. And I won't be mad because there are a lot more videos coming, a lot more videos. As long as I can draw and hold a pen, I'm going to draw and teach you guys because that's my calling. All right, that's going to be it. Later. And go on Amazon. I have not only just my Action Pose book, but I have other books with just action stuff in it as well. So yeah. Just a lot of stuff that's just in these books. And I do children's stories, and I think I have a coloring book. I have a lot because I try to use my talents to do as much as I can to make money, which is what it's about. All right, that's it. See you guys in the next video.